Hello, we're Lilith and Lara here with Coffee, Cakes, and Castles, where we will be covering the 20,000 to 25,000 castles of Germany. We'll be talking about historical facts, myths, legends, and drama.
And today we're diving into one of the most well-preserved medieval towns of Germany. Listen along to hear all about its fascinating development from the area that was once home to its Celtic salt work to present day. It also is home to what might be Germany's smallest castle. This is Rothenburg ob der Tauber.
Hi, I'm Lilith, and I'm American.
And I'm Lara from Germany, and we're just two girls who happen to love all things involving coffee, cakes, and castles, especially when you can have coffee and cake inside of a castle. We're going to talk about all the fascinating facts, including the drama, intrigue, and for today's episode, a truly medieval town with one of the smallest castles of Germany. So it brings us to Rothenburg ob der Tauber.
Oh boy, I'm gonna have pronouncing this one. So I apologize in advance for this entire episode.
All good. I love how you spell this stuff. It's amazing. And everyone who listens to it will love it too.
So, okay. So this was actually the first town I think that we stopped at on our,
Yeah, basically.
yes. And it is located in the district of Ansbach, which is Middle Franken or the Franconia region of Bavaria. The name means Red Fortress over the Tauber, and the Tauber is a river. Correct.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. And to get there, you can get there easily by car. And there was public parking lots around the old town. By train, there's no, what is it? Kind of like your bullet train,
Yeah, like the ICE. Yeah, it's
IC,
the fast train.
the fast trains. Yes. So there's no quick train to get there. But it's only a 10-minute walk from the train station. And then the old town is mostly pedestrian only, which I appreciated because as I learned later on, a lot of the cities there, the roads were also sidewalks with
Mhm.
cafes and shops and pedestrians and cars. Very stressful.
Yes.
But okay, I'm gonna try it. Rothenburg, ob der Tauber,
Yay.
like that. And you can kind of walk freely through the city. Um, and
Yeah.
finding parking, I felt like that was pretty easy. We were
Yeah,
parking easily.
it was quite a big parking lot where we parked, and it was quite nice. The walk along the Great Wall, the wall.
Great. Well, you cannot miss it.
You cannot miss it. That's right.
That was really nice.
Yeah.
The walk in, and it was super easy. The town is really easy to navigate, I felt like.
Yeah. And there's some attractions like little shops and which are quite interesting because they're historical. It's Kete Wohlfahrt. It's the world's largest Christmas store, and we had to go in. I had to show Lilas and Jamie, what crazy Germans love about their Christmas decoration. And it was so fun because we went in and the store just went on. And we went, Lilas was like, where's the end of the store? It did not look big when we were standing in front. And I was like, yeah, it's quite big. So that was fun. You bought some stuff, right?
I did, and if you're watching the video,
Ooh.
I have it right here.
What's it called?
It's a nutcracker.
Nussknacker. Yeah. Yeah. No, lots of fun stuff. And it's the oldest one, which makes it really special. And we had the Teddyland. It's Germany's largest teddy bear store. We also went there and had a look into it. And
And
we have
I
this
have
little cute teddy bear.
this little guy. Yes, it is a teddy bear dressed up as a hedgehog. They had the cutest stuff.
Yes, it's really cute. Yeah.
Yes.
And there were like many restaurants and cafes. You have lots of options. We ate at a restaurant with an outdoor patio and had an amazing view over like the parts of the town, but more or less outside of the wall and all the green stuff. It was really pretty. And the food was quite good.
Yes.
And the service was really nice. So that was really good. And yeah, you have big tourist shops, like not big ones, but lots of them.
Okay.
And it's great for window shopping or souvenirs. You can really go there and buy souvenirs and
Mhm.
lots of souvenirs from Germany, but also Rothenburg up the Tauber special souvenirs. So that's quite nice. And if you like look for something specific, you will find it. And even if you don't look for something specific, you will find it. You will find a suitable present for everyone.
Definitely, yes. Very true. I definitely did.
You did.
Yes. And we are going to get into the historical background, and this town is very, very old. So we'll give an overview of the timeline and then get into some of the important events before getting into the details. And we're starting in 5th millennium BC. So when we say old, we are talking very, very old. So in the 5th millennium BC, the area around, correct me if my pronunciation is wrong, this Schwäbisch Hall.
Oh, great.
So in 5th millennium BC, the area around Schwäbisch Hall is already occupied, and there was early signs of settlement in this region. Moving on to the 5th century BC. So there was evidence of Celtic saltworks that were established in the hall, which lays the foundation for the regional trade and prosperity in the area. And there is written documentation of this. And then moving on to 800 AD. So, a quick major historical event recap for those who need a reminder, which I definitely did because I remember learning about this in history. But the reason why we have been referencing the Holy Roman Empire in relation to Germany in 800 AD, Charlemagne, the Frankish king, was crowned the Holy Roman Empire by Pope Leo III. And this marks the beginning of the Holy Roman Empire, which eventually split into three parts: the Eastern Franks in Germany, the Western Franks in France, and the Middle Franks in Italy. And in 970 AD, the parish of, is it Detwang? Was founded by Reinar,
Mhm.
an East Frankish nobleman. This marked the earliest known settlement in the Rothenburg area. And in 1078, Burkhard II, the Count of Comberg, Rothenburg, he donated the family's ancestral castle near Schwäbisch Hall to the Benedictine order, founding the Imperial Abbey of Comberg, and he later joined the order for himself and became a monk in his own foundation. In 1080, the Counts of Comberg began constructing a castle complex in Rothenburg. These counts are connected to the Schwäbisch Hall and the House of Hohenstaufen, which will soon rise to imperial prominence. They also served as Vogta,
Vögte. Mhm.
Vogta, or protectors of the Comberg Abbey until their line became extinct in the 12th century. In 1116, their possessions, including Rothenburg, are inherited by the House of Hohenstaufen, linking Rothenburg to one of the most powerful dynasties of the Holy Roman
Mhm.
Empire. So in 1142, King Conrad III of the Hohenstaufen dynasty establishes a separate imperial castle in Rothenburg, and this marks Rothenburg's elevation from a feudal stronghold to an imperial residence. And Conrad III was the first and only king to reside there in this castle. 1274, Rothenburg becomes a free imperial city directly accountable to the Holy Roman Empire, which we'll talk about free imperial cities at the end of this. It had its own council and senators at that time.
Yes, we have some more events happening or important times. It was 1356. There was a massive earthquake, like likely the Basel earthquake, and it destroys the imperial castle. And stones from the ruins are repurposed to build Rothenburg's fortified city walls. So that was quite interesting to see the wall being built up and that they like reused stones of the ruins. In 1350s to the 1400s, the town flourishes. Walls and towers are built, and Rothenburg becomes one of the 10 largest cities in the Holy Roman Empire. So that's quite cool to have such a city in the middle of Germany. In 1388, the Topper Castle, Topper Schlösschen, is built by Heinrich Toppler. It's Rothenburg's legendary major, and it still stands today. So it's a fairy tale tower over a pond. It looks really pretty. And the name is quite funny as well, Toppler Schlösschen. Even for Germans, not easy to say.
I'm glad that one was you.
I'll start with that one, yeah. And in 1631, during the 30th Years' War, Rothenburg is famously spared thanks to a wine drinking legend involving General Tilly. In 1803, Rothenburg becomes part of Bavaria and shifting from imperial autonomy to like the regional governance. So it becomes part of Bavaria, and up then it's included. In 1945, World War II brings lots of damage to Rothenburg, but they start to restore it almost immediately afterwards. So it was an important town back, like for history and lots of reasons. So it was important to get it built up again. And today, Rothenburg ob der Tauber stands as one of Europe's best preserved medieval towns, which is pretty amazing. I would say it was, even for me, living in Germany, it was so amazing to see how they kept the spirit of this time alive. When we walked through it, it was amazing to see it, and it offers a vivid glimpse into the medieval Germany. The architecture, the legends, and layered history. It was just really amazing walking through it. We had the best weather as well, so that was quite nice walking through it. But I believe, like in every weather, you can walk through it and feel the spirit, and it's definitely worth a visit.
Yes, that was one where when we were walking, you could go up and walk along the top of the wall. And that was one where it just felt like you could really feel it. This is where people walked like hundreds of years ago. This is what they would have seen. I mean, obviously, like things have been built up since then. But
Yeah, but
it's like
even
this
like
is the landscape that they would have been looking at hundreds of years ago, like from this exact position that you're standing in now. And to think about that was just so cool.
and even like seeing that German people transformed as well and got bigger because we were walking through it. You were very small, so that was no problem. But Leina's husband is quite tall, and to see him walking through it and believing that people must have been so much smaller back then, and that was just really funny to see when we climbed up the little stairs and stuff. It was really, he had to duck, but it was fun to see.
Yes, yeah, because he's 6'1", and he
Yeah.
he had a little bit of a harder time than we did.
When we were walking, we were like, Jamie, you have to duck because there were like those wood things which were really low. So that was quite fun.
Yes, to your point, you could kind of see through that, the changes that have happened over the years, like not just the cities, but people. Just bringing it back really quickly to the free imperial cities. Britannica, their definition of a free imperial city of Germany was any of the cities and towns of the Holy Roman Empire that were subject only to the authority of the emperor or German king, on whose personal estate the earliest of them originated. So the term Freie Reichsstadt
Mm-hmm.
or free imperial city was sometimes used interchangeably with Reichsstadt, but it was rightly applied to only 7 cities at one point in time: Basel, Strasbourg, Speyer, Worms,
Yes. Worms.
Mainz, Cologne, and Regensburg.
Mhm.
Um, And they had won independence from ecclesiastical lords and thus obtained a position indistinguishable from that of the Reichsstadt. And there's a lot that you can learn regarding free imperial cities in Germany. It's a lot, but it's super interesting. And in summary, in relation to Rothenburg ob der Tauber, it was directly accountable to the Holy Roman Empire, but they had councils and senators.
Exactly. And now we will get back to the castle. We've already touched on it, but we wanted to dig a little deeper into the castles of Rothenburg. The original fortress on the hill above the Tauber River was built in the 11th century, likely around 1070, by the Count of Comburg-Rothenburg. And this early castle served as a feudal stronghold, anchoring Rothenburg's strategic importance in the region and protecting against invaders. And we were walking along the wall on like the other side, not where we parked our car. And it was so crazy to see how steep it got down. And we were like, okay, well, that is really steep. They must have built it up because to protect the city. So that was quite interesting to see.
Yes, and have that, like, defensive position.
Yeah. Then, in 1142, King Conrad III of the Hohenstaufen dynasty established a separate imperial castle on the same hill. This wasn't just a renovation, it was a new construction that marked Rothenburg's elevation to an imperial residence. Conrad III was the first and the only king to reside there, and his sons died young, and I guess no one else felt the need to use it. Like, no one wanted to live in there.
Which
um,
yeah,
we would, we would
yes,
live
I
like,
would live in so I'm kind of surprised, and I couldn't find out, like, any information on why, like, maybe somebody out there knows, but when I was doing the research on it, I couldn't find the reason why
yeah,
it wasn't used, because that was kind of surprising to me that there was this whole castle that was just one man used it, and then
and no one else wants to use it, but well. Yeah, Conrad III was influential, and his reign transformed Rothenburg from a local power base into a city of imperial significance. And through the castle wasn't used, the town began to grow outward from the castle, eventually becoming one of the 10 largest cities in the Holy Roman Empire by 1400, as we said before. The Hohenstaufen dynasty, which ruled the Holy Roman Empire from 1138 to 1208, and again from 1212 to 1254, it played a central role in shaping Rothenburg's medieval identity. The dynasty's founder, Count Frederick, died in 1105 and built Staufen Castle in the Swabian Jura Mountains. And his grandson, Conrad III, brought Rothenburg into the imperial fold. But the dynasty's rule was briefly interrupted between 1208 and 1212 by the House of Welf, what we talked about in our other episodes.
talked about things being connected. Here we go.
Yes, here we go. When Otto the fifth, no, the sixth, it
4th.
was fourth, Duke of Aquitaine, claimed the imperial throne. This dynasty rivalry between the Welfs and the Hohenstaufens was one of the defining political dramas of the era. So that was quite interesting to dive into that one, because to see the dots connected. Yeah. So there's so much more we could explore about the Hohenstaufens, like their imperial ambitions, their cultural legacy, their conflicts. But today, just today, we'll keep it focused on Rothenburg. And I bet we will jump back into this little drama, into the politics and the intrigues. So keep on listening.
Because I feel like at some point these families will come up again.
Oh, yeah. In 1356, the imperial castle was destroyed by a massive earthquake, as we talked about before. It was called the Basel earthquake, one of the most powerful seismic events in Central European history. I don't really remember ever hearing about a big earthquake in Europe, so that was quite interesting for me too to find that. Like there was a big earthquake and it destroyed a lot. After the destruction, stones from the ruined castle were repurposed to build Rothenburg's fortified city walls, which still encircle this town today. And we walked on it, around it, everything.
We got to
You
walk on it.
Yes, you definitely should take a walk and look at it because it's quite impressive. And the only part of the castle complex that was renovated afterwards was the chapel of St. Blaise or Blaise, Blas, Blaise, I don't know, chapel of St.
Not sure.
Blaise. And today you can still see remnants of the original and imperial castles in the castle garden, which is called the Burggarten, which is sweeping views of the Tauber Valley and moss-covered ruins. And yeah, the garden.
Yes, like, that was one where you walk through the garden, and when you look up at the part of the castle, like, it felt like Game of Thrones. I feel it really gave a perspective to how epic these places were in the Middle Ages, just like that true medieval castle. And when we had talked about, Ludwig II, he kind of made it into a fairy tale vision, but this was kind of that foundation for the medieval romanticism.
Yeah.
And it was amazing to see. And then also we'll put it on our Instagram, but which has the same name. You can check out pictures there of the Tauber Valley because that view, again, just simply amazing and beautiful.
It was really amazing. Yeah, when we talked about castles, we have the other one, the Toppler Castle, Toppler Schlösschen, and it still stands. So it was built in 1388 by Heinrich Toppler. He was Rothenburg's legendary major, and it's a curious blend of fortified tower and romantic retreat. Unlike the original castles, it has remained intact over time, so that's pretty amazing. And it looks so cool. Like it was just really pretty.
Yes, and so the Toppler Castle, aka the smallest castle in Germany, it's located right outside of the medieval Old Town. And so we didn't tour it. You can tour it, but its hours are very limited, and you'll need to check the website. Or if you're staying locally, it said that you can check with the hotel, and sometimes they can give you information on that. And as you said, it was constructed in 1388, and it kind of looks like a little house that's sitting on a stone base. And this had two functions, the defense of Rothenburg, and it was the home of Heinrich Toppler.
Mhm. We like the name, right? Fun fact, my last name is Heinrich, so that's why
Yes.
we keep on talking about that name.
Heinrich. And moving on now to the mysteries and the legends.
Ooh.
So we have kind of talked about it a little bit, but we will go into the Master Draught legend. And so the short version, in 1631, Mayor Georg Neusch
Mhm.
allegedly drank over 3 liters of wine to save his town from destruction during the 30 Years' War. And now the longer version. In 1631, that was when the 30 Years' War was, the Protestant town of Rothenburg ob der Tauber was captured by the Catholic forces of General Tilly. Facing destruction, the town's leaders pleaded for mercy. He offered a challenge. If someone could drink a massive tankard of wine over 3 liters in a single draught, he would spare the town. And
That's so crazy, right?
it is crazy. And so the mayor, Georg Nusch, stepped forward and succeeded in the feat. And he astonished the general because this was 3 liters of wine in a single draught. And so astonished, true to his word, Tilly spared Rothenburg, and the town was saved.
Oh my God.
Yes. This is reenacted during the Meistertrunk Festival, and this festival has an annual occurrence since 1881. And now I'm wondering if somebody actually drinks the 3 liters of wine.
We should find out.
We should.
Maybe next time.
Yes, we should find out if somebody is actually drinking this much. But yes, so this mayor truly stepped up, and he saved Rothenburg.
He did. Like,
Yeah.
thank you very much.
And some other myths and legends. So there are some hidden passageways, secret tunnels, and cellars that lie beneath the town. And some of them not so hidden. Visitors can go see them on guided tours. But I am sure that, like many other old medieval cities, there probably are some unexplored or
Lil, this is
more
so cool,
difficult to
right?
explore.
Yeah.
And then there is a medieval crime museum, which features torture devices, legal history, and bizarre punishments from medieval times. And then we had already covered the Teddyland's origins, the home to rare and vintage teddy bears, including collector's editions, if you're interested in that. And then okay, correct me if I mispronounce Plurnline.
Yeah.
Illusion. um,
Lulan, yeah.
Plurnline. It's a famous photo spot with a fairy tale like triangular composition of a yellow house and 2 towers, and Plurnline means little square. And if you want to see it, you can Google this. They have some really cool pictures online, and it's just kind of how things line up in the picture. And then ghostly legends. So, of course, in a town this old, there are possibly hauntings near the city walls and the Spidal Bastion.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. And I tried to look more into this, and I did find a blog that somebody had posted a picture of an orb. Um, yes. So if you're interested in ghost stories, you can
Go check it out.
yes, you can check it out. You can Google it online. Somebody does have an orb picture out there.
That is funny.
Yeah.
Coming back to the name of our podcast, we had to talk about the places you can check out for some coffee and cakes if you're in Rothenburg. Kaffee Einzigartig. It's very cozy and artsy with homemade cakes, and they had like vintage decor, and it was really, really nice. Then it's Dilla Schneeballenträume. It's a like you go in and have some coffee, but you get it on the counter. It's famous for Schneeballen, like the snowballs. They have short crust pastries in many flavors, like the filling is different inside. Then there was the Kaffee Bar and Confiserie Marktplatz 8. It's right on the main square, and it's great for cakes, pralines, and most importantly, people watching. You can sit there, enjoy your coffee and cake, and see all the people walking by. Very nice spot. We have the Café Lebenslust. It has a really stylish interior and an excellent cake selection. We have the Kaffee Uhl Schneeballen, which is also for the Schneeballen. You can have them near like the Plönlein, and it's really nice, like where you can sit and have like the scenic view. So that was quite nice. And last but not least, it's the Hotel Gotisches Haus Café. It's very elegant, like an elegant cafe in a Gothic hotel. It had perfect layered cakes, and the ambience is really nice. So that's our collection of all the coffee and cake, and we enjoyed it a lot. We enjoyed Rothenburg ob der Tauber a lot. We
Yes.
were walking there, and I think we spent lots of time, even when we did not have that much time. We were like, let's just sit and enjoy because it was so pretty and beautiful. And one of my friends said, you have to go there. And it was the right
Yeah.
decision. I think, especially for a tourist and someone who's interested in history, it's such a nice place.
Yes. That was I mean, I loved everywhere that we went, but
Yes, basically.
yes. I mean, it was awesome. It's Germany is beautiful, and if you have not been, definitely visit if you
Mhm.
can. Um, but I feel like Rothenburg Jamie and I had gone to a couple other, cities that are known, I guess, as touristy, quote unquote. And Rothenburg, I feel was you didn't get that like rush of, it didn't feel too busy. It didn't
Yeah.
feel, um, like it didn't feel like it necessarily catered to tourists. There are a lot of stores and restaurants and things like that, absolutely. But you just could really feel, um, like the age of the city in the most beautiful way.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So we love Rothenburg, and I do have a quick question about the Schneeballen. Is that like local to Bavaria, like in that region, or is that all over Germany?
Well, basically, it belongs a little bit more there, but we have it since, I don't know, 2 or 3 years on the Christmas markets.
Oh,
Like on Christmas markets, you have lots of little, yeah, booths who have the Schneeballen, but basically, it's more from the south.
okay. That is fun.
Yes, and it's quite sweet most of the time, but it's quite nice. You should
Nice.
try one.
When I come back, when I
Oh,
return.
yeah.
Um, okay, and so that is the information that we have on Rothenburg ob der Tauber, and it was a lot of historical facts today, but that is because the city is so old and
Told.
so intact, which is absolutely amazing.
It is.
Hey,
Yeah,
eh,
thank you for listening. It was so much fun. Thank you, Lily. And
thank
I'm really
you.
excited for our next one. It's going to be a little more south. And do you want to spoiler it?
Sure. We can give you guys a spoiler. Insel Mainau,
Mm-hmm.
um, a flower island.
Be excited. It's going to be a
Yes.
good one.
Heading Flower Island next episode, which we are also very excited about.
Yes. Even if
Yes.
we did not have the best weather, but it was still really pretty.
Did not have the best weather, but we'll get into it. I think that might have been the best cake inside of a castle.
Oh my God, yes.
Okay, thank you guys.
Thank you. Bye.